No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
The first thing we've got to do is to make the caramelized onion. In goes a tablespoon of butter into my saucepan. I'm just going to move that around. You can use vegetable oil, olive oil, any sort of fat that you want to use in here. And to that, I have 2 thinly sliced large onions. Yeah, you just want to make sure the slice is even. And what I mean by that is that you maintain the same thickness with the onion. And all we want to do now, we're going to sweat this down. This is a bit of a process. Now, in the previous version of refried blood pudding that I shared a couple of years ago anyways, I would not have done caramelized onions. And you're going to see another thing that I didn't do the last time, which is to remove the casing from the blood pudding, which is a natural casing, which is the intestines that they use. I want to make this more like a paste to sort of put onto your sandwiches, onto your crackers. You know, we say salt biscuit, in Trinidad and Tobago anyways. But all we're going to do is sweat this down. I'm going to put the lid on there for about 15 minutes, turn my heat down to medium-low, and we want to cook this low and slow until we get a dark caramelized color and the sweetness from the onion, which in my humble opinion will complement the spicy notes, the herbal notes of the blood pudding. Now, just before I put the lid on, I'm going to go in with about 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. You can use any salt you want. Then, of course, as I mentioned, lid on for about 10 to 15 minutes to start with. Thanks for allowing me 30 seconds of your time. Uncle Chris here, reminding you, printable recipes are available at CaribbeanPot.com. If you like the recipe that you're seeing right now or any of my recipes, consider subscribing and sharing the link with your friends. And finally, I have cookbooks available for sale. I have 4 cookbooks and I'm working on a few more. So if you head over to CaribbeanPot.com/cookbooks, there will be cookbooks there ready for you all. And if you wait till the end of the video, I'm going to force you to watch the video or fast forward, I'll give you a discount code. For those same cookbooks, you can get a discount. All right? And here we go, 3/4 pounds of blood pudding. And you can see it's been in the freezer. I visited my sister over the weekend. She had this, you know, I was missing home. Carnival it just ended there, and I'm usually home for carnival time. And she asked me if I wanted some blood pudding because she knows I love blood pudding. And in Trinidad and Tobago, we don't have rice or any sort of filler in our blood pudding. Mind you, there's a lot of herbs and seasoning peppers and all those different things, garlics, and it can be spicy. So I brought it home. It's been in the fridge. It's thawed out now. But what I want to do, in the previous recipe I showed you all we did, we sliced it up into maybe 3/4 inch pieces and then we refried it. This time we're doing it differently. And what I want to do is I'm going to chop it and I'm going to cut just along the line of the casing. And I have my bowl ready here. What I want to do is to remove the casing from it. Yeah, so there is that casing. One more time, I'll show you what I'm doing. Yeah, it's a sharp knife. Remove that casing because all I want is a sort of filling of the blood pudding. There we go. As a matter of fact, earlier I said this is natural casing, but this isn't intestines. This is actual casing. And if you wanted, we can break this up into smaller pieces. Yeah. Well, I really don't need the spoon, but you can see what I'm talking about. It still has to thaw out a bit, but the onions are. And you can see the herbs I'm talking about. If you look closely in there, I don't know how good the camera can pick it up. You can see all the herbs and everything else that's in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue doing that. Set it aside, let it thaw completely while the onions caramelize. It's been about 15 minutes. I'm going to turn my heat down to low. And I'm going to leave the lid off now because the whole idea with the salt, well, with the lid was to help soften things up and get it started. And with the salt is to pull out the moisture from the onion. Now here's where every 5 to 10 minutes you're gonna hit it to stir. I'm gonna go low, medium, low. And it's going to start developing color, but it will take some time, anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes. But again, it's a slow process, but it's well worth it because the caramelized onions, and you know, you can store this if you wanted to put on your hamburgers and hot dogs and all those different things. You can store it in the fridge and heat it up. You know, it will be in the fridge for a week easily. But in our case, we're going to add it to the blood pudding that I went and I prepped. I removed all of the casing from it. And it's a different take on refrying blood pudding as we would do in the Caribbean. It's been about 35 minutes and this is what we got here. I'm just going to allow it to go for another 5 minutes. I just want to make sure I get all of the moisture and really caramelize the onions. Notice how darker it got. It's going to go limp. And the key here, ladies and gentlemen, is to keep stirring it every 5 minutes or so. Simply because it will want to stick on you, it will want to burn, but the end result here I'm quite happy with, and you can see it's reduced considerably compared to when we started. So if you want to make more, you know, and as I suggested earlier, you want to store it in the fridge for when you top in your hamburgers and hot dogs and all those different, even sandwiches, any sort of sandwiches, it works great on there. You can do so, add more onions, and you've just learned how to caramelize onion. The next step is where we're going to introduce, well, we're going to remove it and then introduce the blood pudding to the mix. At this point, I'm going to remove the onion, nice and caramelized. It's going to have a lovely sweetness to it. We're going to remove that and set it aside. In the same pot, I'm going to turn my heat up to medium, and I want 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. In goes 2 scallions, finely chopped, and the whole idea here is to sort of repeat the flavors that I know is present in the blood pudding. It's been sitting in the freezer regardless, even if it's a day old, still I really want to enhance those sort of same, or mimic those same flavors that we have. Some parsley. If you wanted to go in with a crushed or a grated grain of garlic, you can do that. What I also want is, I have some habanero pepper finely diced because I want it spicy. But again, it's totally up to you and in the amounts that you can handle. No seeds. I'm just going to turn my heat down ever so slightly. I don't want to burn anything. I also want some fresh ground black pepper in here. And if you wanted to add a tiny bit of salt, you can also do that. I'm going to hold back. I'm cutting back on the amount of salt in my diet. What I do want to repeat also is some of the fresh thyme. Yeah. Just the baby sort of leaves, baby stems and leaves. Not too much, about a teaspoon or so. And all we're going to do is sweat that down till it flavors everything and picks up some of that caramelized flavor from having caramelized the onions in here. Now what I'm going to do after is 2 things. We're going to add the blood pudding in there, and remember, remove the casing. And we're going to fry it up, as we say in the Caribbean. We're going to fry it up or saute it in that flavorings that we have here. Then you'll see me crush it, create a sort of a crust on it, and I am going to fold in the caramelized onion. Ladies and gentlemen, that is optional. What you can do with the caramelized onion, when you're making your sandwiches or you making your crackers and you want to put some of that refried blood pudding on it, you can use this as a topping. I want to fold it in because I want, when I'm biting and I'm eating my sandwich, I get that little hint of sweetness from the caramelized onion within the blood pudding itself. So I turn my heat down to low, by the way. Just want this to go for about 3 or 4 minutes. It's now time to add all of the blood pudding to the pot there. Now as I stir it, I just want to crush it. Yeah, we're making a sort of a paste, and this is why it was important for me to emphasize removing the casing. In the other recipe that I showed you all, doing something similar, refrying the blood pudding, we kept the skin on and we kept it in large pieces. Yeah, in this case we're making sort of a pudding paste, I guess. And all I want to do, I'm going to turn my heat down because I don't want it to burn. If you need to add a bit more oil, of course, go ahead and do so. But I just want to warm this through now, let those flavors pick up. We got the scallion, the thyme, the parsley, the scotch, well, I use a habanero pepper, but a scotch bonnet would work. If you put garlic in there, you can do that. And of course, the sort of base flavor of the caramelization of the onion that took place as well, yeah? Give that one more quick stir, and the last thing I want to do is to sort of add back the caramelized onion all the way through it, and then I'm just going to fold it, shut off the stove, and we're done. It's sort of a unique way of refrying or heating through blood pudding, creating a lovely sandwich spread. As I said, if you want to do this holiday time and you want to put it onto some fancy crackers and serve it to your guests as hors d'oeuvres, by all means do so, yeah? Uncle Chris saying, I hope you get an opportunity to give this one a try. A little bit different, but I assure you, you're gonna love it. All I'm gonna do is toast some bread, slap some of this on it, layer it on, boom bam, Uncle Chris happy, like Papi, a gone.